The Super Metal Brothers podcast is the best. Really great stuff. I was in my car listening, and I was like, there just is not a better podcast.
Welcome back, dude. It's been a minute. How were the fucking slopes in Colorado, by the way?
They were good. Got hit by a storm, but it was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, we had smooth sailing up there. But you know what, dude? I unlocked an old pastime of mine, which was just jamming to some fucking metal going down the slopes is probably one of the greatest feelings ever.
You put headphones in?
Yeah.
Okay. I usually have a Bluetooth speaker, so I blast whatever
that's probably safer than what I'm proposing, but these were different times when we were like jumping off the ski lifts and going down the hill.
Pre-cell phone Bluetooth days.
Yeah, exactly.
I always listen to some like black shit so I don't scare people. But every once in a while, my Spotify hits like something like some friggin' Enterprise Earth or some shit. And I'm like standing in the friggin' line to get on the lift. People are looking at me crazy and I kind of forget about it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you have all these like old ladies and stuff that are trying to ski. Like, what is this man listening to?
Were you rocking the little skis, like the little midget skis this time? Or were you rocking a full stack?
No, I did the full stack this time.
You?
I love the midget skis though.
Yeah, but because that would be the most metal thing ever, just cruising down the hill on those things, blasting fucking Enterprise Earth. That new single is a fucking banger, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
That shit goes so heavy. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call reaction radio, probably next episode. Just going to play various singles that we've heard or come across, or exploring new and up and coming bands, or totally indie ones too that don't have any, representation in the scene yet. And we're just going to do live feedback, see how it goes. But I know for sure Enterprise Earth is going to be on there. So how this kind of came about though was fucking hilarious. I had made a post on Reddit basically because we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do our next review on. And I wanted something that kind of flew under the radar. That's kind of where I aim for, because I feel like there's a lot of great bands that just get drowned out by all the shit that floats to the top. So I want to give recognition to smaller bands that, maybe some people haven't heard of. I had posted on the deathcore Reddit and the metalcore Reddit basically the same exact question, like an album in 2022 that you believe deserves more recognition. And I mean, more so on the metalcore side, like I think 40,000 people saw that post. Now, not everybody participated in it, but it was still in the hundreds. So, I mean, just these fucking immaculate lists that people had put together. It was exciting because we started listening to these and we're like, oh, dude, here it is. Here's the shit we've been looking for. We've made a lot of complaints about the state of metal and where it's going. And I've been completely missing all these other bands that people now have suggested.
Yeah. And that's really like one of the three reasons that we decided to even do this podcast. One was we felt like we're only catching the wave tops of music. We were only seeing the stuff that like Spotify was suggesting and stuff because we don't have a lot of conversations besides ourselves over the phone. So we wanted to like get out there and see what's out there locally, or maybe some bands that are kind of like mid-tier, aren't quite making it yet. And then also we noticed from this Reddit post that there's lots of big bands that are like pretty well known throughout the US that we didn't even know about. I'd never heard,
like which
never
ones?
listened to, like Grey Lotus. For example.
Oh, yeah.
I think Grey Lotus was amazing.
Yeah.
That like skilled guitar, skilled instruments, and probably She Must Burn, us doing that review kind of warmed me up to more of the symphonic stuff.
Yeah.
So I was ready to hear that. Another one was Sold Soul.
Amazing. Holy shit.
Yeah, Sold Soul is probably my favorite. That is my album of the year, of last year. That's 2022 album.
And that Savior album.
Yeah. I would say Deathcore, Sold Soul came out of that, probably my favorite. And then Savior is metalcore wise. So I'm really into that, like Gideon, Savior, Boundaries, because we're about to review them.
Yeah, but I feel like Savior, Boundaries, and Gideon kind of lean. I mean, they're all metalcore, of course, but Gideon and Boundaries tend to kind of lean more into the hardcore aspect of it. I would say where Savior seems much more traditional metalcore.
Yeah.
More melodic, more ambience and things of that nature.
They pulled it off though. I mean, there was so many good stuff on that. And that's probably probably in our next episode, we're probably going to dig deeper into that album, I'm sure.
But it was funny because, you know, we had spoken about boundaries in the past. People at concerts have suggested them. I saw them being listed more so throughout the metalcore page about, you know, check this band out. So finally we were like, fuck it, we're going to review boundaries. I did what I thought was responsible to Reddit standards is I went back and I edited the post and let everybody know, hey, this is what we picked. So metalcore seemed okay with it, but apparently deathcore had a fucking fit.
Move this man!
Like, I just got downvoted like to oblivion, basically.
Yeah. You had like 67 upvotes at that point, and he dropped down to like at some point like 20. And I knew it was exactly because they were like,
Yo, this motherfucker ain't one of us! No!
They're like, this motherfucker posts on the deathcore subreddit and asks for like suggestions and then chooses a metalcore album. I know that there's some gatekeeper motherfuckers in that subreddit that were pissed off.
Yeah, I imagine like when they say like that stank face, you know, when a breakdown comes back, but it's slower, it's that face, but it's just a dude like sitting behind his computer just fucking pissed off. That he's like, boundaries, what is this metalcore bullshit? He just can't sleep at night.
Just imagine this guy like being mad. He sends the downvote, you know, and then he goes on with his life that day, probably some IT job or something, and just can't do his job. That later that night, like he starts masturbating and all he can think about is the fact that you chose a metalcore album besides a deathcore album.
And it just busts his nut every time.
No, he just can't finish. He just stops. Ever since, and that was like around Christmas time that you posted that, this guy hasn't been able to nut since. So we basically started his No Nut November.
A year in advance.
A year in advance.
Well, I mean, maybe listen to the new Boundaries album. Maybe it'll help you out.
Try it. You might like it.
Dude, Reddit's a fucking gem though. So before we get into the Boundaries review, so yeah, on the metal memes subreddit, which is basically just another like metal shit post, fucking hysterical, dude. So whoever the admin or the mods are of this, like they set up like a bot that like when certain words trigger it, it comes with an auto response. This is basically how it starts is someone says something like elitist or posers, and then the auto mod comes in. I'm gonna read these, are fucking hilarious. But the real posers here are you. Yes, all of you, especially the mods. Real metal listeners don't gatekeep and encourage everyone to listen to the metal that they like. All metal is real metal, and you pussies can't tell people otherwise. Real metal enthusiasts welcome everyone into the community. They don't push out the people who want to join the medium and share their passion with others. You guys do the exact opposite. You attack those who do listen to what you don't like. You push out those who want to come into your metal family and learn all about the music. You gatekeep, you are elitist, and the worst type of the fandom. So that's how it starts, right? And then it just gets progressively worse. So then someone comes in right after the bot says, does the bot still trigger with Pantera? And then the bot comes in and says, Clantera is a Nazi band. Right? And then, bro, what? Death metal, thrash, power, doom, sludge. Most people like at least some of or a few of these genres on here. Are you just mad because someone told you Slipknot or deathcore is not metal? The bot comes in, shaking my head. Metalheads are so goddamn elitist. I recently discovered the heaviest and most brutal band in the universe. Motherfucking Suicide Silence. They are perfect in literally every way there is. Hearing Mitch Lucker's vocals makes me want to come. Their breakdowns break my fucking neck along with every other fucking bone in my entire fucking body. Their drummer plays at 10 gazillion trillion beats per nanosecond. Anyways, I wanted to do some metal research on them, so I searched them up on the metal archives. But for whatever reason, they weren't there, even though entry-level pussy shit like Cryptopsy and Suffocation are. How the fuck can this be? No other band in the world makes such heavy ass music. Shaking my head. Metalheads really do ruin the fucking metal community. No other music genre has the fucking sheer brutality of deathcore. They can fuck right off with that shit saying that ain't metal. And now my fucking day is ruined. But at least I have the picture of Mitch Lucker in my room I can fap off to.
This is what I love about the metal community in general.
So someone took the time and he's like, I'm just gonna auto fucking put a bot. He typed out all this shit, dude.
So that was a bot, that wasn't a person.
Well, yeah, but someone had to program it to do that. So someone, I mean, wrote all that speech, but the fucking Clantera one had me dead.
Fucking awesome.
Did you know about that? Did you know why, like, well, more so Phil Anselmo is like considered a Nazi?
I mean, they used to put the rebel flag in there or the Confederate flag in their shit.
Dude, that's an average day in 1980s Texas. So whatever. No, so this was a few years back, quite a while actually now. But he was like drunk in like some dive bar. I'm not even sure what fucking band he was playing in, but he was like throwing up the Hail Hitler like Nazi salute. And I'm sure like he was just being edgy and stupid and probably just trying to be funny. But like ever since then, he's just been deemed a fucking Nazi and all the hardcore kids hate him.
Well, I mean, he was like a well-known asshole back in the day. It was no secret that he was a complete asshole. Music we listen to today definitely wouldn't exist in the same way that it does without Pantera's influence.
Actually, to call him back, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more later, but that fucking new Enterprise Earth single has some huge fucking dime bag riffs in them, dude.
Oh yeah. It's got a lot of stuff in it, man. I even heard some Metallica. They've been leaning on their influences more so than they have in the past.
Yeah. But anyways, all right. So do we want to just get right into this, or you got anything else?
No, I was just going to say, like, the metal community, they just crack me up. I might wait for the end of this episode. So if you're listening and you get all the way through, I'm going to play a special gem I got of Instagram of a guy who wants everybody to know about a band called Synestia. I'm pretty sure the name of the band is. I think because of this guy, we're going to blind react the next episode.
Okay.
But I'm going to play his story. I got it recorded and it is the most hilarious shit. And this guy was replied to things. He's my favorite Instagram follower. I hope he posts more videos. We're going to call him out. We're going to tag him.
We should bring him on the show. Do you think he falls within an archetype or like a mosh pit legend?
Oh, he definitely does. I'm not sure. He might even be a legend. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's never been in the mosh pit, but he's my mosh pit legend.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember him when I'm in the mosh pit. If you want to hear that, or if you just want to go on our Instagram and check it out, he tagged us in one of his stories, and the shit he says in the video is awesome. Like I said, wait till the end. And also, shout out to everybody who followed us on Instagram. We just set it up. We got about 325 followers in about 3 days.
8 subscribers on YouTube, so the metrics seem off. But thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if these are people who actually know what they're doing. We're posting memes of stuff that we like. We're posting songs. So if you follow along on Instagram, we're going to talk about a lot of the stuff that we put on there. I think that's the main spot where we're just going to post our ideas and stuff like that. Also,
for Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, it seems to get more traction.
Yeah, for us specifically, we're also going to have conversations on Reddit too, and you can find us on there. Put our tags in the description and stuff for you.
I love Reddit because it can always devolve into some just degenerate bullshit, dude.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
really
definitely
digging this Reddit hates super metal bros arc we're building, dude.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you're one of the guys that was mad because of the deathcore subreddit, please let us know how angry you are. And we're not going to even bag on you because we just love people who gatekeep, and we also love people who are so passionate that they write like 10 paragraphs to let us know how passionate they are.
Or we can always set it up to have them on like come through on Discord and just have them fucking tear us a new asshole.
Fuck yeah, I would definitely do that. We love those people. We see you guys at shows. We see you guys in concerts all over Dallas. That's where we're at. We're located in Dallas. We go to Fort Worth. We go to Dallas concerts. So we'll let you guys know where we're at. If you're in town, come see us. I might even give you a free t-shirt if you're up for it. If you let me know that you watch. So you have to say something like, I'm going to have to come up with some tag that you have to say.
We got to have like jargon, like some lingo. Yeah, we're going to have to figure that part out. But
if you come up to me and you say, who's sucking whose dick, that sentence, and you'll understand why probably later on in this episode. You say, who's sucking whose dick, I'll give you a free t-shirt.
I'm excited to hear whatever it is. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram if you get a chance. Everybody that did follow us, awesome. There's some bands that have hit us up and actually want us to react live to some stuff. So we're going to check that stuff out next episode. If there's anything you want to hear, put it on Instagram, tell us on Reddit, wherever you can.
Also, go to the Discord page because that place is fucking barren. I have my best friend acting as mod and he doesn't do shit. Make him do his job, please.
Yeah.
And play video games with me, dude. We can fucking smash on some Dark Souls or some Titanfall, whatever, dude. Just hit me up.
Yep, we're open to anything. So, to the subject matter, which is the boundaries review. We're doing a review of Bearing Bright Brightness is the album.
Yeah, so I guess before we get like too in depth with it, this album, man, it took me on a weird fucking journey.
Same
so again, everybody was suggesting it. From the get-go, it kind of got overhyped for me. When I initially listened to it, I immediately heard Misery Signals. For that reason, I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like some good shit. This might be really good. Fast forward to us doing this review and me really in-depth listening to it. I listened to it a couple times through, and I tend to lean into things that are pretty technical. And this album wasn't super technical. So at first, I didn't really like it. But then I decided to change up like my viewpoint or my approach on how I was listening to it. I, threw away my own ego to the wayside and tried to listen to it differently because I knew that people were enjoying this album and they were hearing something that I wasn't. So because of that, I tried to come from a more empathetic view, not getting caught up if things are super technical or not. And by the end of it, I ended up loving the album for what it is.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. And my experience was this. This album was presented to me at a concert by a guy we were talking to who's in a local band. And he told us this is album of the year. And so that was what I came into it thinking, like, I'm about to hear some shit I've never heard before, or some stuff that's really unique, or something that's just doing something really well. And we did get some of that, but this was presented to us also as something that was under talked about or not given the recognition that it should, which is interesting because everywhere I've heard about it is people saying album of the year. So that's why I was coming into it. And I think I'll start by saying that I'm not an audio engineer. I am a musician, but not a very good one, admittedly. So I don't really come into things like I'm better than anybody.
Yeah.
These guys are great artists. They're great musicians. They can write coherent songs that are really good. And I actually like them. But I think here's the difference between those people who are saying this is album of the year. If you've gotten into metalcore in the last 10 years, this is going to be, it's going to blow your mind because there's just things on it that are awesome. But the problem with me is I've been listening in this scene for 25 years. And if we go back just 15 years, maybe 20 years, about that far, you're going to start finding that there's some similarities. I saw a lot. Not that that's a bad thing. Drawing on influence, especially on influence from 15 years ago, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
We like to get other thoughts with reviews and stuff to just see what the buzz around an album might be. And didn't you say there was like a review that said like this album was like genre defining?
Yeah, it was Idiotech, I think was the name of the company that did the article. And they said this was a genre defining album.
Okay, listen, I like this album as much as the next person, but y'all need to calm the fuck down. Okay, because like Misery Signals and Remembering Never were already doing this shit.
A version of it, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, again, this, I would say Boundaries leans more into the hardcore aspect.
Yes.
Certainly more so than Misery Signals.
We'll get into it once we get into the song breakdowns, but I heard influence, definitely Misery Signals. I mean, there's one point in the song, and I have a sample that we'll play later, where literally I was expecting to hear the Misery Signals. I hope you know I tried to find those pictures, Jordo. Yeah. I wish I could do that voice. He's so deep. That song is from like 2004.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of influence from that album. That's Misery Signals' first album. And subsequent albums, I heard influence. Also, I heard a lot of Parkway, heard some Blind Witness. I heard some Remembering Never, a little bit of Chimera, and then, even some Iron Maiden influence.
See, I didn't hear too many of those. The main takeaways I definitely got was obviously Misery Signals, Remembering Never, some Ghost Inside, early Acacia Strain, and we'll get into the breakdowns. Early Acacia Strain, Deftones, and then, believe it or not, there was a few songs that had Chevelle moments in them that I heard.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess first let's go into the band itself. So the band's from Connecticut. There's not much of a bio on them. They don't dive deep into what they are, what they stand for. If you look at their bio on their social media, it just says Connecticut hardcore, Connecticut metalcore, or something like that.
Yeah.
They're very simple with that. This band was just signed somewhat recently to 3 Dot Recordings, which is Misha Mansour and Periphery's label.
I knew I'd seen that before. I was trying to figure it out.
Which might be part of a little bit of that album of the year hype that we're hearing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're
if
great
Misha
at marketing.
sees something in them, then there must be something
Yeah.
there.
And Misha and them, they're masterminds at marketing. More power to them. They're doing a good job of it. Currently, I think there's only 2 original members that are still on the band. Right now, it's Matt McDougall, who was recently featured on the Darko album. It's like the first track on the album, actually. I can't remember the name of the track. He was featured on that. Drummer is Tim Sullivan. Bassist is Nathan Calcagno. I'm pretty sure Brandon Breedlove and Zadek left. I'm almost positive.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, it's hard to find information on this band. I did a lot of research, and some of those websites just give you some...
Surprisingly, I've less on this band than there was on She Must Burn. But if you look at, like, Boundaries has more Spotify listeners than She Must Burn.
They do. Yeah.
Which seems strange.
Metalcore is a lot more.
But I guess if you're not out there writing your own, you know, accurate fucking wiki page, it's all up to speculation on what's really going on and who's part of what.
We'll look up and make sure we get the members down right. As of December, they had 72K monthly listeners. She Must Burn, our last one, they had 11K. To put it in perspective, there's some bands on there that I've seen that have 200 to 400,000. I think Lorna Shore has quite a bit more, probably like 10 times the amount of listeners.
Yeah, I think 8 or 9, they're about to cross that 1 million mark.
So just saying they definitely have the potential for growth.
Yeah.
I think anybody who's new to the scene in the last like 5-10 years is going to love this album.
This is going to be people's of Malice and the Magnum Heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that exact album, interesting that we make a lot of allusions to it, but that was an album that brought me to harder stuff. Because before that, I was listening to like Crossfade, you know, and Breaking Benjamin. And then I heard that album and I was like, oh, fuck all that other shit.
Yeah.
This is the stuff. And then Remembering Never came, As I Lie Dying. And
From
then
Autumn to Ashes.
From Autumn to Ashes. I started listening to a lot more after that. The full album is 40 minutes. Burying Brightness is the name. It was released on October 14th and it's got 12 tracks.
Yeah, so we'll get into the other releases they've had. That was 2022, obviously. 2020, they had their first full length, which was Your Receding Warmth. Beforehand, they had 2 EPs, one in 2019 titled My Body in Bloom, and in 2017, their first one, Hartford County Misery. And they've had various singles of different tracks from those albums. That's the entirety of their discography. So 2 LPs, 2 EPs. Yeah, unless you got anything before that, I think we can jump right into the tracks.
Yeah, let's go straight into the tracks.
Cool. So the first track, It Begins to Speak. It begins with this slow buildup paired with like really like poetic spoken word verse. That's one thing I was judging on the merit of this album is, if nothing else, the lyrics on this album are fucking phenomenal and well written. So I'll give it that much. And I could see that maybe taking from early Parkway. If Matt McDougall wrote all the lyrics, I'm assuming so. Sort of the theme of the album seems like this spiraling depression, just these different facets of depression that you're faced with throughout your life, and potentially like the loss of someone or like the loss of yourself. There's a lot of factors of like dealing with internal demons while also dealing with all the negative things that may impact your life. So I thought, for metal, that's pretty standard, but not a lot of people do it to this level. So I have to give him credit for that.
Yeah, he also has a lot of spoken word type vocals, poetry.
Yeah. If you ask a lot of people on different forums and stuff, a lot of people seem to dislike spoken word. Us coming from Misery Signals, I've always liked those parts. What is metal if not poetry?
And as long as it goes with the theme of the song. And I feel like Corey Taylor used to do a lot of filler that way. And a lot of other bands around that time, it really didn't go with the song as much. I felt like all of his spoken word parts were natural.
I want to read some of the lyrics because this kind of had my brain racking. In It Begins to Speak, during the spoken word verse, I think towards the end of it, he says, "Welcome to the place where no thing gleams, where hell flows like water and demons sing, the corner of the world where life retreats, the resting place of scared and the weak. Now you're out of his reach. This is where your brightness is buried." So this tells me that like he's being faced with some like internal demon, and almost like he's had an epiphany that his life is like just spiraling down at. And then after that spoken word verse, it's perfect because it goes into just this fucking heavy ass, like almost like I said, like a Casey Strain style riff. And I think that's around the 132 mark.
The resting place of the scared and the weak. Now you're out of his reach. This is where your brightness darkness is buried.
Yeah, that's like I got like heavy like car bomb vibes. Like I said earlier, Acacia Strain. So yeah, I think that like perfectly sums up like what you're about to get into as far as like an album. Like you're not hearing anything happy in this fucking album.
Definitely think you nailed it on the head with the lyrics and spiraling depression. This was just a good intro track. It introduces you to the album really well. There's no like chorus verse structure to it.
Right.
It's just a sequence of shit that brings you right into that breakdown right there. And then about a minute after that, it starts into the second track, which is Your Own Murder.
Yeah. So right from the jump with this track, I felt like I was listening to Of Malice and the Magnum Heart. I can't even separate the two. Like at first I was like, oh, I thought I'm listening to A Victim, A Target. You know what I love about this band too is like, and I guess they kind of do it the same way Misery Signals, but a little more chaotic, is they have these melody parts where it's like real soft, real low tempo, melodic parts, and then it transitions into just chaos. So there's a moment of that in Your Own Murder. It's right around the 44 mark.
Those parts right there really show what we're talking about. We keep on saying Misery Signals, but it's definitely in here. And I mean, that's a good thing in my book. Those albums, those first 3 albums by Misery Signals were like near and dear to my heart. So I do get a lot of nostalgia on this album.
Yeah.
That I really like. So I do enjoy listening to it.
Well, and I will say like too, back to that kind of review we were talking about that said it was genre defining. Even if they knew about Misery Signals, I'll give them credit. Maybe they didn't, but I would say to be generous with it, to say it's genre defining, maybe they're hoping that this is what's going to pick up and, you know, there's going to be a return to form of older metalcore and people following suit.
Yeah, I could see that. That's why I said earlier, if you are just getting into the scene within the last 10 years, this could be genre defining for you. Because if you haven't listened to old school Misery Signals or old school Parkway Drive or any of that's Remembering Never, for example, you may not hear that stuff. And this may be new to you because this happens in metal all the time. You take that old stuff that was happening, you bring it to the forefront, you put a new little spin on it.
Yeah.
And you put a little bit of your own flavor on it. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's good. I mean, it's the music I loved back then. Hearing it today makes me happy. Moving on to track number 3, This Is What It's Like. So I got a few things from this. The drum parts, I think this was one of the best songs as far as the drums go. A lot of Joey Jordison vibes, a lot of all over the kit fills and things. And then there's a breakdown at 119 that has a little China bell hit that we love.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stop everything and hit a China bell just real quick and then go right back into it, you're automatically going to get my love on the track. There's a lot of mathy riffs that go into like the slower interlude. And then there's a fast tempo, like kind of drop D chords. That's their unique flavor. They had these up tempo, really chuggy chords. It was a lot faster. And that's kind of their flavor that they put onto it. I like those groovy, faster, palm muted guitar parts that they had in there.
I'm kind of glad you had brought up those weird mathy transitions because I noticed, especially like the first, couple times I was just listening to it through, from the time Your Own Murder starts all the way through This Is What It's Like, and then into Heaven's Broken Heart. I didn't even know they were different songs. I just thought there were slight pauses in between the tracks, and then it just goes into the other one immediately. It almost sounds like one big ass song. So I noticed that a lot throughout the album. I'm not sure if that really works to its benefit or not. I mean, that's just up to personal taste.
They have actually a really proggy riff that happens on This Is What It's Like about the 2:28 mark, and here it is. Yeah, super chaotic, proggy, those like single string riffs that they got. I really like that.
And then that song also has another little lyrical piece that I love. And now all that's left is a 357 called Intervention, a natural end, finally meeting expectations. I don't even know what the fuck that means, dude, but that shit just goes hard. Yeah. I love it.
I'm glad you did that on the lyrics, because he does have a lot of good lyrics.
He almost has too much to say. You know how we were talking about on She Must Burn? It was like these lyrics must mean something because they're struggling to fit them all in. I feel like that's the way this album is.
Probably the whole album.
I'm sure these are really personal songs that he wrote himself, and he's really trying to just fit it all in. That's why like he's unrelenting with his vocals. He just doesn't stop.
And it's all very authentic, was something I love about this album. It doesn't seem cringy at any moment, and it doesn't seem fake, like forced.
Yeah, it's not edgy. These are real feelings, real words with real meaning. And like you can really feel the despair. Now, I don't know if this is about Matt McDougall in particular. It might be about a family member or someone else he knows, or you can tell these are real feelings that someone is actually experiencing. I absolutely love that because I can do the edgy shit and the things that where bands don't take themselves too seriously. There's always room for that. But every now and again, you need albums like that. And I think that's why this album does resonate with a lot of people. When I was going through a rough depression, I had The Color Clear by Reflections. I resonated with that album because I was having those feelings. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, you know, no strangers in metal with depression that probably resonate with what he's singing about and probably love this album even more because of it. So the next one is track 4, Heaven's Broken Heart. This is another example I put in here of melody followed swiftly by chaos right around the 43 second.
Those are those really fast riffs that I was talking about right at the end of that clip.
Yeah, that bringing back the Jun.
The Jun.
Yeah, I love those moments. I like when they just take a moment to like, you know, bring in the harmonics and then they're like, all right, no more fucking around, and then just go right back to being heavy, dude. So I really enjoyed that about this album.
Yeah, I had one clip I wanted to play this. This one's at the 119 mark.
Same track?
Yeah, same track. This is Heaven's Broken Heart. It was probably the best chorus, I thought, on the album, and here it is. This is the only time they give you something like that, so it was kind of a unique part on the album.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was my favorite chorus. That's reserved for another track. But you know what I liked about this album as well is they didn't force feed you cleans every moment that they possibly could, that I feel like is a major problem with metalcore these days. They're trying to just like force feed you really generic fucking, you know, metalcore cleans. And this band knows how to use them as more of a weapon to serve the purpose of the song and to bring them in when they're palatable.
And that was something that they talked about in one of their interviews, where they were saying that they're really trying to dig deep and take all the stuff that their band can do. So I know the drummer really added to the cleans, and so did the bassist, I believe.
I think the bassist does the backing like harsh vocals, those kind of higher pitched fry screams that you hear.
Matt McDougall is not the only one given the vocal performance here. There's other people in the band that are doing that.
They all throw in their 2 cents vocally for sure.
Which I think is the first time that they've done that as a band.
Nice to see some growth. Okay, so then the next track is track 5, No One Will Mourn You Here.
Yeah, it was a good track. It fits on the album. There's some groove guitar in there I liked. And they have another bell chime moment that I like. You at least get a thumbs up if you do that. So.
Dude, I mean, this album is just chugs and breakdowns galore, though. I mean, it's all over the place and just in your face constantly. So that's why, like, a lot of people really resonate or love those moshable moments. But I like when bands explore more melodies. So that's why I tend to lean more in favor of those. Breakdowns and chugs happen, like, I feel like 75% of the album.
Yeah, definitely. The next song is Resent and Regret.
Yeah, so this was another one that lyrically was really deep. It was kind of, again, written really poetically, but seemed to be the experience of loss or losing someone. It does have one of my favorite clean singing parts, right around the 254 mark.
I still
Yeah, so that part in particular, Kevin really like shows his range, like what he can do with clean vocals. The emotion just hits you like a fucking gut punch. And you need to have those moments. I know you like the ambient parts. That's probably why you resonated with Heaven's Broken Heart, the cleans he was kind of doing there, because they felt like more supportive, where this was like his moment to just really fucking just give it everything he's got vocally.
I thought this song was the most like post-hardcore.
Yeah.
Out of them all. Had a cool intro too, which I didn't sample, but still cool. I think this was kind of competing with The Tower, the last song, as the ballad of the album, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
Going to the next, Realize and Rebuild.
So I will say this was for sure my favorite track on the album, without a doubt. Again, starts out with a really, one of my favorite melodic parts right around the 40 mark. Yeah, so that really showed off. They can add nuance to the music tactically, because you had Kevin come in with his clean that just, you know, a one-time thing, but it helped support the music. And then you had those riffs where it's just da-da-da, da-na-na-na, da-da-da, da-na-na-na. Like, love that part.
Yeah, I love how a lot of those rips just kind of like rip through out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Kind of unexpectedly. They do a good job at stuff like that.
And see, when I found myself coming back and listening to this album, those were those things that I was gravitating towards. I was like, okay, so there actually is technicality in the album. It's just, I didn't know what I was listening for before, because normally it's like, okay, where's the fucking sweeps at? But this, I found myself really finding love in the simplicity of those moments, but they are technical.
Yeah, I got the same exact feeling. This felt like more like one of those albums that you buy, like back in the CD days. Like you bought it because a buddy told you to.
Yeah.
First time you heard it, you're like, then, but you spent the $20.
Yeah, so now you have to like it.
And then you liked it. Actually, the last time I remember that happening, someone's going to stab me in the face for saying this, Thrice, Artist in the Ambulance. I bought that album and I hated it, but I bought it. So I just continued to listen to it.
Yeah.
And like eventually I was like, oh, I kind of like this. There was a bunch of good moments on it.
Yeah, you'd gotten into kind of a weird phase back then. Like you were listening to like Thursday and shit, dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I think I kind of just upgraded from basically Slipknot to Kill Switch Engage. And then I just rode that train all the way home. Man.
No, I took that. I guess that was the post-hardcore era. I listened to all that stuff like Silverstein.
Yeah. What's considered emo today.
And a lot of these proggy riffs that you hear today in metalcore, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Those bands were already doing that. They just had that nasally, you know, like little girl singer that at the front that didn't give it as cool of a sound.
And then also about this Realize and Rebuild, there's this spoken word part where like the words that go into are super well thought out. It's like just poetry spilling on the page. I don't know if Matt McDougall sounds like this normally, or if he has like kind of like a deep voice, but he really brought out the big dick energy when he, you know, spoke on this part. So it's right around the 125 mark.
The world walks by my cage as I attempt to color each day in a way that makes me want to stay, in a way that makes me worth the air that I breathe. My charity is in excess when in the company of death. I have so much to give when there's no one left. I have so much to give. I have so much to give. Rebuild.
But that riff that follows right after, that's where I get those like Chevelle vibes.
If there was ever a part where I was hoping someone to come out and go, I hope you know I tried to find those pictures, Jordo.
Yeah.
It was that part.
Yeah,
that's exactly the part. I like it though. I think it sounds good. It's very reminiscent of like we've been saying this whole time. Misery Signals, a lot of other stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm just going to continue to give the lyrics praise because there's another moment within that song, and I'll just read them. There is no more intoxicating fantasy than to be extraordinary. I make a mentor out of every man I meet, a lover out of everyone I pass in the street. So this tells me Matt is the type of person that just walks around wearing his heart on his sleeve. You know, he sees value in every single person that he comes into contact with, you know, as a potential friend or learning something from everybody. I imagine if I had to think of it any other ways, like we're all people just trying to fucking go about our lives. But I think it's important for us to stop and smell the roses and remember that, you know, we're all individuals. And I think that this lyric in particular kind of brings that to the forefront. Like, you know, maybe we should walk around more with like our guard down, take in people for who they are and see the beauty in that. So well done, Matt.
Yeah, nice. So we're going to move on to the next track, which is My Body is a Cage. This one feels like the single of the album, most definitely.
This is definitely like the moshers anthem. Like this is the shit people go fucking crowd killing to.
This one might end their show, possibly. I'm not sure. But they definitely hit it hard on this one. I would say it's the hardest song next to the Secret track, which we'll get into later. But yeah, so this one,
the Two Towers.
It just starts off. It doesn't. There's no fuckery on this one. It gets right into the riff that everybody wants to hear. So that's why I think they'll end with it. They'll kind of. This will be the one that everybody's like one more song possibly if they're ever headlining, and that they'll come back out and play. And here's the clip right here.
My body is a cage.
Yeah, so very deathcore-y.
So much twang in that Jun Jun, dude.
Yeah, that's some good Jun Jun. I like it. It's a fun song. It's probably the funnest song on the album.
Yeah, but I would be surprised, like you said, if that wasn't like the closer, like they ended on, dude, because that's definitely the song where like people are fucking jumping off the rafters and shit and like cracking their fucking skulls.
Yeah, makes sense.
The next one, you know what? I totally could have done without whatever the fuck this was.
Yeah, it was some electronic.
Yeah, like I'm guessing one of the members is like a drum and bass artist too, and he just wanted to plug himself. He's like, check out this sick EDM track I did. Like it just came on and I was like, what the fuck? Like I felt like I was like a really bad club with strobing lights and the GHB was kicking in. And like some rich dude had a leash around my neck and people were taking turns like snorting coke out of my ass. That's what it made me feel like.
Yeah. I mean, that did happen once though, right?
Well, that'll be a story for another time.
Oh, okay. Not for today. Yeah, so that's track 9. It's 45 seconds, kind of an electronic EDM interlude. And then we get to track 10. It was built to break.
Yeah, so the opening riff, like right out, goes from about 17 seconds to 35. This riff just makes me want to fucking fight people's moms, dude. Shit goes heavy. Yeah, once I hear that, dude, I'm just getting immediately violent with whoever's in my vicinity.
Yeah, that one's just fast chugs. They got Jun Juns.
Yeah.
But they're fast Jun Juns, not slow Jun Juns.
No, I love the fast Jun Juns. I know people get super rowdy with slow Jun Juns, but I'm all about that fast-paced Jun Jun.
More of an example of what I was saying. Like, that's kind of the flavor of this album, is that fast chugginess.
Yeah.
They like keep that up tempo instead of slowing down, which, you know, is something a little different than what we're hearing lately.
Yeah, there's none of that beat down fuckery, dude. It's like, let's keep the fucking energy going and go fast and hit fast. Nothing changes when you get what you want. There is no growth without loss. This is the price of understanding. Pain is the cost. And then, just a crushing breakdown right at the 2:11 mark. Probably my favorite breakdown on the album.
Yeah, that definitely was a contender for the best. Just riff off the album.
Yeah.
Along with My Body as a Cage, the opening riff. They gave us a little piano. I like when we get a little piano. I'm on that symphonic and like blackened stuff. So they gave us a little bit of a flavor of that. So I'm going to play that right now. I think that was right before the sample you just played.
Yeah.
I just like it. It was a nice little bridge that brought you into it. I think it was probably one of the better bridges on the album.
Yeah, and it had some like that dark ambience, dude, that kind of, you know, sets up some theme for the song, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, so the next song is Bearing Brightness, the title track.
Yeah.
This one actually contended for my favorite song.
Yeah.
On the album. Most namely at about the 2:10 mark. There's this part. That's the part where I heard the Parkway. That reminded me a lot of Romance is Dead.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Had that little bit of like almost diminished slide that's kind of like in between the chugs there. So, but I loved it. That's one of my favorite parts of the album.
Of all the lyrics, this probably had my favorite lyrical piece where he says, the things that people will do to each other, the fire forgets what the forest remembers. That shit just fucking hits hard, dude.
Yeah, that's a nice line.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like when you make it kind of clever, but it has meaning, it's not just a bunch of edgy nonsense, dude. Like,
yeah, the fire forgets what the forest remembers.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that.
I take that as, you know, you're in a fit of rage and you do shit that might be unsavory, or like you say something that you might not mean to say, but whoever you say or do that thing to, they could carry that for the rest of their life now, whatever trauma that you just got lost in a fit of rage.
Yeah, it's like goes back to the saying, like, you on your way to work, you can find a car that's flipped over, pull a full family out of it and you know, save their lives, and then pull some people out of a house fire, and then on live TV get caught sucking a dude's dick. You're not a hero. You're a cocksucker. That's what you are that day.
Yeah. He had us in the first half. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So the next song on the album is The Tower.
So I'm just going to go ahead and start this off because this was by far my least favorite track on the album. I'll just be very fucking transparent about that. They took some artistic liberties with this, and I'm not sure what the fuck they were going for. I'm not hating on Boundaries. I just feel like sometimes the artsy shit gets a little out of hand, and you could have like reeled it back in a little bit. So to start off, and I kind of have mixed feelings with this first part because it kind of starts off with this really, you know, slow Deftones, very Deftones-esque singing part and riff. On one hand, it sounds like Deftones. On the other hand, it sounds like fucking Deftones. Usually I'm all for bands paying homage to their influences and letting that reflect in their music, with one exception, and that's Deftones. And the reason being is because they have such a unique sound that they've just cornered the market on, that they're just, anybody who does a Deftones section, I just immediately think to myself, it would sound better if Deftones did it.
This is another one where the reviews really didn't match my experience. Like that Idiotech one we talked about, like where it said this album's genre defining. It's like, okay, maybe. Also, I saw a review where like someone said The Tower, the greatest ending song on an album of all time or some shit like that. And I was just like, not really. I mean, it has a secret track embedded in it. It's because it's 8 minutes. I think it's like 10 minutes long, the whole song. But there's this long drone in the middle of it, and it lasts like 3.5 minutes.
Dude, that shit, yeah, it gave me fucking anxiety, dude. And I had headphones on. So it's just like this reverberated pulsing, like going through your fucking ear holes. Like I thought my head was going to explode. It made me feel uncomfortable.
Maybe that's kind of what they were going for, because it starts off kind of a ballad.
Right.
And then that lasts about, I don't know, like 4 minutes. And then you have this 3.5 minute slow rise, drone that leads into probably what would have been the hardest song on the album had they built upon the idea more. And I actually have a couple samples from it because I knew we were going to talk about this. Yeah, so I actually didn't get Deftones vibes from that. I got Chimera vibes.
Really?
Chimera's like most famous song, I think it's Army of Me.
Yeah.
That you say, it just reminded me of Chimera. I wouldn't describe it as horrible or anything. It just didn't do anything for me on that one. The 3.5 minute break didn't do anything with me. The secret track is what I'm calling it that happens at the end does something for me. But to get to that is going to make it so I'm never going to really listen to that part.
Well, and that's kind of my point with this whole song is like, I'm probably just, every time I listen to this album now, I'm probably just not going to listen to that song altogether because I'm not going to fuck around with like skipping ahead to the best part, which also admittedly, the best part also kind of fucking pissed me off too, because like throughout the whole album, I'm thinking, okay, like maybe, aside from writing out, maybe vocally Matt McDougall's kind of like a one-trick pony. But then we get into this last section of The Tower and he just goes the fuck off with his high-pitched screams, his fucking lows. And I'm like, where the fuck was this the entire album?
Yeah, here's a sample of that. Yeah, the sample doesn't have the high pitch, but that's just an example. Like if you listen to all the samples that we've had so far, like we've had the kind of slower chuggy stuff. This was the fastest song. And it definitely was like it was definitely mathy and just reminded me of some like older school Architects maybe.
Yeah, agreed.
The only problem with it is I have to wait basically 8 minutes and 17 seconds to get to it. It's not car friendly, because that's when I listen to music typically is in the car. So I don't get a chance to really get it unless I'm going to sit there and let it play. But I wish they would have separated it and maybe put more into that secret track.
I'm not sure what the best way to go about it is. I mean, and it's their art. It's all subjective. I mean, if they want to do that with their music, I mean, feel free. I just wasn't a fan of it. And I'm definitely going to go back and listen to this album, throughout the years. But that track, I'm just not even going to spend time on, honestly. But going into that, I will say there's plenty to like on this album besides that. So that wasn't, really a thing that, I'm going to dock them for. That's like, I take that as like over the edge, kind of artsy little thing that they tried to do with it. Although I wasn't a fan, I liked the rest of the album. So I can deal with one song not being good enough for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I feel the same way. Every song before that, minus the EDM track, was good shit. Something I could listen to when I'm working out. Me coming back, if I say a year from now, probably My Body is a Cage is going to be on a playlist for me
Yeah.
And everything else I might drown out over time. They're definitely not all keepers for me personally. And like I said, I'm going to go back to what I've said like twice. I think if you're new to the scene, you've done it last 10 years, this is going to be an awesome album for you. For me, it doesn't stand out because I hear a lot of the old stuff that from my past already there that I would hear somewhere else. So a lot of those songs, those Misery Signal songs and all the other influences we've talked about are already on my playlist. Otherwise, it's a solid album.
Yeah. So what were your top 5 songs?
So my top 5 tracks, favorite overall was It Was Built to Break. My second was My Body Is a Cage. That immediately captured me. And like I said, will probably be on a playlist somewhere for me for years to come. My favorite chorus was Heaven's Broken Heart. That was number 3 for me. 4 was Bearing Brightness, which was my favorite breakdown on the album. And actually put The Secret track as my number 5.
Nice, dude. Yeah, so mine were starting at number 1, Realize and Rebuild. Again, gravitated towards those clean melody parts. So that was on top for me for that reason. Best cleans in the album, in my opinion. Number 2 was It Was Built to Break. That was probably my favorite breakdown. 3 was My Body Is a Cage because it was just fucking super aggressive. Number 4 was Your Own Murder because it gave me that best like nostalgia and callback to Misery Signals. And then number 5 was actually It Begins to Speak. I loved how they started the album and then followed through with the rest of it. And I think that the intro track did its job in preparing us for what the album was going to be. So that was my top 5. Overall, so lyrically, the album is outstanding. I think from a mix and mastering perspective, I think the album is also really well produced. Because we were just talking about how like we wish bands would favor more of the raw production. You can tell this album's actually, I mean, definitely professionally, mixed and mastered, but it's not over the top with production. And they do it in such a way that I could hear this being played in some dive bar, and they can probably replicate the sound that they have on this album. And I think that's what they were going for. So I give them points for that. I think they stayed well within their range of what they wanted to bring to possibly a live setting. So I'll give them points there.
But it feels like it was recorded inside of like a basement, or maybe like a basement, like where you're being held captive by a serial killer. It's real drippy and chainy.
And there's strobe lights.
Yeah. And at one point, strobe lights come out, and then there's a long drone that leads to you getting killed.
Yeah.
After your most depressive moment. So, I agree with you. Production was great. I see a lot of people using this as like a standard. Lyrically, actually, just from this review, listening to all the stuff you brought up, lots of great moments in lyrics. And it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nostalgia in it. So I think it's good. Like I said, it took me about 3 times to like it, though.
Yeah, I agree. And I would say, if there are drawbacks, because one of those things, while those callbacks to nostalgia and our influences are nice, and I did appreciate this album from it, I still don't know who Boundaries is. You know what I mean? There's not a distinct Boundary sound that I can, beside maybe Matt, the vocalist, but there's not a distinct sound where if I heard it, I'd be like, that's Boundaries.
Next, we definitely need to hear the experimental album. I definitely would like to see them explore more as musicians.
And I think they will too.
They definitely have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about this band. I think that they definitely are going to be able to come out with another album, and I can't wait to see where they go. What score are you going to give them?
What critiques I do have, again, are kind of subjective in the grand scheme of things. So overall, based on how people are receiving this album and based on how I feel about this album, especially when, again, I tried to listen to it in a different way and take it for what it was, honestly, I'd give it a 3. I think it's a good fucking album, and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we agreed in the first review that a 2.5 is good.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, that means that it was a solid album. And anything above that is just icing on the cake as far as our review goes. So 5 is the best album ever created. 4 is like the second best album ever created. And then between 3 and 4 is where I think most albums are going to fall for me.
Yeah, with like the point something embellishments.
If there's things maybe a couple things that like just didn't do it for me at all, then maybe I'll go down to 2.5. Unless we're reviewing some like crazy shit, I don't see myself.
By the way, we will review that crazy shit. So
Yeah, we
If
definitely
you guys have like just objectively bad shit you want us to review, I'll review it. Shit, send it our way.
I'll agree with the 3, but I
Yeah.
think I might raise up that score the more I listen to this album. I might give it 1 or 2 more listens, and I think I could probably get it up to maybe like 3.2, 3.3.
Yeah, because that's another thing I'll say about this album is like it was harder to like kind of pinpoint and memorize sections as opposed to like She Must Burn. And that's why I think maybe She Must Burn was a little more palatable for like our first review, because they had very distinct sound signatures and things they were doing with their music that made it really easy to like get into a flow with the album, where Burying Brightness was a little more on the, again, underproduced and over chaotic side of things. And so it was kind of hard to like a steady rhythm going with the album. And that's why I had to listen to it several times before it started like getting burned into my brain, like what these sections were and what they meant from a musical standpoint. So now anybody who can listen to it first time and just be like, yes, that's my shit, good for you. That wasn't the case for me. It took me a few times.
So I did promise there's going to be a gem that I knew, Solaire, you'd like.
This is the guy?
This is the guy that followed us on Instagram. He's commented on a couple of our things.
Our biggest fan.
He has this band, Synestia, I think they're called. He doesn't even know how it's fucking pronounced, which you'll find out in this video. And this was his story, and I find it hilarious.
Stop what you're fucking doing and go check out Synestia. Okay? I put the fucking link up. If someone doesn't go suck the singer's dick, I'm going to. Seriously.
Oh, I love him, dude. We should have him on the podcast. Holy shit. Yeah, that was outstanding, dude. I like how he like the sucking dick motion was like almost like him hitting a spliff.
Yeah. Like he totally did the lazy finger fucking dick rubbing motion. I fucking love that guy. So I actually put up a meme that said something to the effect of, it was a Vince McMahon meme.
Yeah.
Like that was like deathcore chugs. And then the like lightning eyes was whatever, metal violin or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, violin solo.
And in the caption I put, or maybe saxophone. And he replied to it, if it's not Synestia, then suck assophone. So,
dude, He's got a bright career in fucking promotion.
And he is my favorite Instagram follower. So everybody go give him a like on his story if it's still posted. This is the kind of shit that we love. So anybody like this, come and give it to us. You don't like our review, you think it sucks, go ahead and tell us. We don't give a shit. And we're probably going to put you on the podcast.
Yeah, dude, give us content. I love fucking trolling kids. No, this guy's fantastic. And also, I just want to give a huge shout out to Boundaries for releasing a really solid fucking album. I see what everybody's talking about. Burying Brightness is the shit. And I hope you guys are happy with the review we gave you, because we're not changing it. But yeah, much love from Texas. When you guys come through, hit us up. We want to get fucking rowdy at your show.
So now you know. That's the tag. Who's sucking whose dick? That's what you got to say. Because he said, if someone doesn't suck the vocalist dick, then I will.
Also, when you say that, you need to act like you're hitting a joint. That's, that's like our super metal bros dab.
Yeah.
It's like sucking dick, but a joint sized dick.
Thank you, everybody. Sunbro Solaire and also Drop-Gspot. Thanks for listening. If you made it all the way here, you're obviously a fan, and you'll put out some more shows, more episodes.
Later.